Hey, on. My neck is killing me.
I can't feel my legs.
Look, I think I see water.
No, that's just a mirage.
Did I hear someone say massage? Hello, fellas. I think I can help you out with those aches and pains.
I never heard of anybody massaging a horse.
Yeah, besides, we're starving. Hey, my neck feels great. Thanks, Doc.
I bet there ain't nothing you can do for my legs. Wow, unbelievable. I feel like a champion racehorse.
And you too can feel like a champion. Maybe not a racehorse, but you can feel like a champion. This is Geary Whiting and Brandy Armanta. We are, what are we? I guess this is Voice for the Horse. We are a Voice for the Horse.
There you go.
Yes. Today I'm going to be going over some very interesting letters to show the effectiveness of the kind of massage you'll be learning when you come to my school or if you take my in-home study program. What made me get onto this subject today, I had a different agenda, and I was thinking about knowledge and how I have one person in mind that has been doing massage for 30 years, and I could never figure out why this person was so bad. I mean, there are some really bad people out there as far as ineffective. And I was looking at one of her advertisements here, and I started looking at this. I go, whoa. She's got craniosacral therapy, myofascial release, Reiki, Tellington touch, raindrop therapy, aromatherapy, maternity, therapeutic, deep tissue, hot stone, Swedish, sports, reflexology. She's got 13 different things that she studied. And how this explained it to me is she has studied so much, but she hasn't perfected any of them, and too scattered. Well, the art of shiatsu massage is probably the most effective massage technique there is as far as performance and getting results. When I was in school, Dr. Kaneko, my teacher from Japan, used to say, Gary-san has much heart. And I just had the opportunity to induct Dr. Kaneko into the Massage Therapy Hall of Fame. And I'd always wanted to do something to honor my teacher. Well, that was it. And I also was able to induct one of my students, Yvonne Allen, out of Canada, for Voice for the Horse, into the Massage Therapy Hall of Fame.
Who we spoke with last week.
What's that?
Who we spoke with last week.
She called in last week. That's right. And and in talking to Dr. Kaneko at the Hall of Fame this year, he said, what has set you apart, Gary-san, is much heart. And I only took a basic 105-hour course. But out of that 105-hour course of human massage, and I adapted it to the human, I've achieved a great deal from that, and it's because of being able to focus on one thing rather than having so many credentials. You're spread thin, always seeking knowledge but never gaining understanding. And that's how I see a lot of people who keep going after this and this and this and this and this. They keep adding more and more
to the next thing, to the next thing.
Yeah, they never perfect anything. And so this is so what I wanted to do in this program is actually to show the benefits of shiatsu massage for my background and what my students can achieve as well. And again, the key is the heart. And when you look at my in-home study program, you're going to see me kissing the nose of that horse. Well, you've seen that before. Yeah. And that's the key. If you have the horse's heart, you have the whole horse. And the difference between a good massage and a great massage, a good massage comes out of here, and a great massage comes out of the heart. And so we're going to talk about some great massages and some pretty amazing results as a result of massage. I first got started into the art of shiatsu massage, and let's see if I can bring this picture up here. This fella is Bob Wieland. He's the double amputee that walked across America on his arms. Well, Bob had done the New York City and the LA City marathon the years before I worked on him. After he walked across America, he wanted something a little less strenuous to do, so he did marathons. And that's I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, that's a great
But that's a picture of Bob Wieland and myself being interviewed by a Sports Illustrated writer over in Kona, Hawaii, when he did the Ironman triathlon. I'm going to read a letter from Bob, and then I'm going to read a letter from a world-famous coach, Dr. Harry Snyder. To whom it may concern, over the years of my athletic career, I have worked with many massage therapists, and none were in the league with Geary Whiting. As much as I appreciated their work, I will not mention them in the same sentence with Mr. Whiting. He stands alone when it comes to getting results. It is my pleasure to introduce Mr. Whiting to you, for whom I greatly respect and endorse. Besides being a very competent athlete himself, Geary has gone on to do an in-depth study in different massage arts. This combination has not only given him a thorough understanding of knowledge of what makes the human body works, but also a direct analysis of what needs to be done to maximize the body's performance, whether athletic or otherwise. And basically, it was shiatsu massage and cross-fiber technique. Those were the two in-depth studies I did. He listed some more of those, but they were just sidelined. Because of Gary's expertise, it is mandatory that I have him accompany me during my race events and my training required for these events. One such event was a New York City marathon. Geary worked on me continually during the 26.2 miles. He was able, now I want you to get this. This will blow your minds. He was able to lower my 1987 New York City marathon time by more than 17 hours. Due to Gary's efforts in maximizing my body's performance, I feel he was the main factor in my being nominated as Athlete of the Year for 1988. So 17 hours is pretty mind-boggling. And as Bob, I'd walk the distance with Bob, and as we'd go along, he said, I'm getting a little tight in my traps or a little problem here. I would address it, bing, would take off and go. And it showed that continually keeping the body nice and supple, you could maximize your performance. Well, 17 hours was impressive. Well, Dr. Harry Snyder wrote a letter of commendation talking about the Geary Whiting has proven skills as a first-rate trainer and masseur. Okay, he goes on to talk about that. And he talked about the world champion record with Bob Wieland. Okay, P.S. Bob broke his world record in the marathon in Los Angeles by a phenomenal 18 hours. Well, again, it shows the value of the art of shiatsu massage and how effective you can be with this art. And again, this is what I teach in school for both horses and humans. We didn't do it in your, did we? We didn't really do it in your program. We did a short one.
Yeah, short part on the human.
Yeah, we did we. How much did we do in your 2-day program?
Just that first morning, not too much.
Yeah.
Not too much. Yeah.
Yeah. The full program, the 5-day program, we include the whole set, the whole body of the human. Here's another one from Sue Watkins, who trains Kiger Mustangs. Dear Geary, I am writing to thank you for the 100th time in changing my life. For the first time in 12 years, I am virtually pain-free. I owe it all to you, with your extensive knowledge of shiatsu massage and how to heal the human body. When I met you a few years ago at the horse show, I wish I had understood then how incredible Your healing hands really are. I would have lived pain-free sooner. I've been a horse and wild animal trainer for over 30 years. This means I've had a very physical and active life and lots of bumps, bruises, and crashes along the way. Growing up training animals for the circus, I have been moving equipment twice my body weight for 35 years. In 1998, I had a work accident which resulted in 3 herniated discs in my lower back. I was virtually incapacitated for 2 years. Since then, I have been in constant pain. And I just want to kind of inject this thought of why you want to learn how to work on people. By coming to my school, you'll be able to help them like you're going to see I help Susan. If you've got a friend that is in pain, you will be able to alleviate their pain. And you can, just what you learn from the horse, you can apply to the person. I adapted from the human to the horse, but you can adapt from the horse to the human as well. They go both directions. And how valuable is that to take someone out of pain and give them their life back? Recently, I became a nationally known trainer in wild Mustangs. In April 2010, I had an unauthorized dismount. You know what that was?
She got dumped.
I was bucked off. From a young Mustang, I was braking to ride. This accident landed me in the hospital in a body cast with a broken back. After 5 weeks in body cast, I was transferred to a canvas brace. When the doctor said I would wear at least 6 months. When I ran into you at the Paso Robles Fair, I knew right then that you could make me better. I was in a lot of pain and very weak from stiffness of not moving, bending, or twisting for 12 weeks. I still had 3 more months to be in a brace and even longer before I was to do anything physical. After just 1 session with you, I was absolutely pain-free for the first time in 12 years. What's that worth? To be pain-free.
I think a lot of people, too, get so used to living in pain and dealing with it, and pain tolerances go up, and, look at that, 12 years.
Mm-hmm.
That's a long time to be hurting.
Yeah. Most of the time, I don't even remember I broke my back only 4 months ago. I do not ride yet, but I work horses full times all day, clean pins and hoe weeds without a care in the world. I am a barefoot trimmer, and before seeing you, I could only stand to trim 2 feet at a time because of the pain in my back. The first day I decided to try trimming again, only 15 weeks since breaking my back, I was able to trim 2 whole horses 8 feet with little pain. And she goes on to tell me how great I am. And then there's Gary LeFew, who crashed in a Steamboat Springs cowboy downhill ski race in Steamboat Springs. We got him out of pain. And
I got a lot of letters here.
Yeah, these are my human letters. Okay, I want to read this letter to you because this is important. Then we're going to go into the horse. And so after this letter, I'm going to announce to you now that this is Slow Talk Radio that you're listening to. In case you happen to forget, you're caught up in all these wonderful letters. You go, what program am I listening to? Well, this is Slow Talk Radio. I'm Geary Whiting, and this is Brandy Armenta. All right, I want to read, this will be the last one for the humans, and then I'm going to show you what you can expect to do and accomplish as a student with horses. Dear Gary, as you know, I have been in a great deal of pain for the last 6 years. The massage and treatments you have given me have made a world of difference. It changed my life. Only 2 out of the 15 specialists actually helped me with my neck problems at all, but at least they were honest enough to say they were not able to completely rid me of my pain. Your therapy has made a big difference. It is interesting to note, I managed to spend over $100,000 on the first 13 of the 15 specialists with little or nothing to show. Ken's wife took me upstairs. She said, I want to show you something. She opened up a dresser drawer, and it's all of these receipts from $100,000 that they paid out to doctors to get him his neck fixed. I managed to spend over $100,000 on the first 13 of the 15 specialists with little or nothing to show. I cannot thank you enough for the very special massage and release. Consider this letter a personal reference you may show other clients. The amount of personalized attention you give your clients is very impressive, and I am sure will keep you at the top of your field. I don't know that every single person can accomplish what you and I have, as they will all have different problems. But it turned his life around. And then the other letter, which I won't read, a chiropractic student had been trying to quit smoking. He was using acupuncture. He was using behavioral modifications. Nothing was working. I did one session on him, and he went smoke-free. He lost his desire to smoke. So that's the human stuff. I wanted to talk a little bit about what my students get out of my program. This is important. It's not an inexpensive program, and it's not really an expensive program. When you consider the results that you're going to get out of performance for your horse, or fixing people who maybe can't go to work because their neck is bothering them or their back is bothering them, my students have the ability, with what they've learned in school, to address these issues and help people. What little you're going to pay for your initial education will over and over will repay itself just in getting you back to work and be pain-free, and to not have to go through life feeling like you just wish you were dead. You know, I was listening today about our drug problem
That's
we
what I
have
was just
in the
going to
United
hit
States.
on. Or live your life on pain pills, like so many people do these days that you hear about. It's like, oof.
Yeah, it's sad, and
Can't
people they're on so many drugs they don't even know who they are, and so really this program, Gary Whiting's Equine In-Home Massage Program for Horse and Rider, is really an important program. And if you aren't using massage for your horses, you've got a big world in front of you that will make a difference for your horses. That my program has a lot to offer, a lot of very vital knowledge and information. I'm going to read a letter from one of my students. Dear Gary, I just have to write a note and hope you'll share it with your future students. As you know, I came to your school just so I could help my own horse when I became dissatisfied with the therapist who had been working on him. Little did I know what was to come. What you teach at your school, your massage techniques, is powerful stuff. I mentioned that I was going to go to your school, and my chiropractor, who unbeknownst to me then, is an owner of some racehorses. He said he would love to try it out on horses. So I want to share with you that just 3 weeks home from school, and I was at Hollywood Park Racetrack massaging horses. Not bad, huh?
That's cool.
Yeah. I must say, the trainer seemed captivated with the first horse's demeanor during the massage. The second one I did, he said he couldn't believe it was the same horse, and that he had never seen him that calm before. And of course, the faces the horses made was a telltale sign that they really loved every minute of it. While I was working, I also overheard the trainer tell his owner he was very impressed with how thorough the massage was, and saying that the other massage people that came in, they just seemed to be interested in just getting in and getting out. Well, that's not the way I want my students to be. I want them to look for problems, search and destroy missions, looking for problems, not fluffy massage. I don't do a fluffy massage. I fix problems, and that's what I train my students to do. Fix problems. Wow, what a concept. So anyway, they entered this horse, Charlie's Moment, I'll just kind of jump ahead here, into a 6-furlong race, and Charlie's Moment finished dead last. And Berta had not been able to work on Charlie because she didn't have her track license yet. Okay, update. On February 7th, 2009, they entered Charlie's Moment in a $200,000 stake race at Santa Anita, and had me work on him the morning of the race. Security is very strict before the stake race, as you must be licensed by the racing board to get near the horse. Okay, so this is where she says, so unfortunately, she wasn't able to work on Charlie, so he came in dead last. Okay, Update. Charlie was entered in a $100,000 stake race at Hollywood Park. They entered him in a 7-furlong race, a longer race. One of the owners expressed concern because this was a 7-furlong race and some pretty tough opponents. Well, so she works on Charlie the week before and the day before the race. The day of the race, Charlie took the lead right out of the gate and held the lead and crossed the finish line 2 lengths ahead of the next horse.
Wow.
Okay, so this is what's cool. Drum roll, please. Let's see. It was very impressive, to say the least. As a matter of fact, so impressive, he was purchased, and I get this, he was purchased right after the race by a sheik and shipped to Dubai. I later found out it was Godolphin Racing that purchased him. Their founder, drum roll please, let's hear it. Good. Prime Minister and ruler of Dubai, H.H. Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum. Wow, that is a mouthful. Incredible. That's what I say. I am having the time of my life here, and I still am very impressed with the massage techniques. Most sincerely,
That's
Berta.
great. That's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah. And so it shows what my students are capable of doing right out of school. I get comments all the time. How can you learn to massage in 5 days? I can teach you in 2 days to do a good massage. Now that, you go, I can't believe that. Well, talk to some of my students. The letters are here. It's how the program is taught. It's simplified to what's really important. And that's what my program is all about. It's simplified as to what is really important. And we got a dog named Lucky that was paralyzed. You remember that?
No, but I was just reading it. I'm being snoopy. I'm reading these letters as you're talking.
Yeah, this is a letter from the vet. She described they were basically seconds away from euthanizing him when I popped into the clinic. Paralyzed in the back end. I worked on Lucky. Next morning, he started moving his back end. Went home at the end of the week, totally fixed. And I started it. We got him going. And she had a massage girl there at the clinic, and she worked on Lucky every day. And by the end of the week, Lucky went home. Well, they got their dog back.
That's awesome.
So the program, I'm pushing the program this time because it's a very important program. And then we're going to kind of end up talking a little bit about whatever we're going to talk about. But this is the program we're looking at. Geary Whiting's in-home study program for horse and human, horse and rider. There is no difference between a horse and a human. What I read to you earlier wasn't bragging rights. It was my success with humans, and I adapted it to the horse in 1995, and I was just amazed at how well in fact, it worked better on horses than it did people. And the reason is horses don't play games.
No gray area.
No. You know exactly. And as far as me, if you feel like you need a little backbone in your life, you feel like something is missing, you need to massage a horse. You need to have me teach you how to massage a horse. The first horse I worked on, the very first horse, I felt like I owned the world. I felt it was incredible. I don't know how to say it other than it was beyond words. And, I had my moments with Bob Wieland and the U.S. Olympic high jump team and the martial arts team and track and field athletes. I was in the limelight with them. I fixed them. I helped their performance. But nothing in my past ever came close to the horses, and I started working on horses and never wanted to go back to humans. But my in-home study program is a very powerful program. You can go to howtomassageahorse.com, and you can read the subject matter in here. It is a horse and human-related program. Not a problem. It's not a problem.
No.
Program, yeah. So, you went to the program. What do you want to talk about? We've got 4 minutes. Mr. Producer has not flagged us off yet.
Nothing in particular. I kind of skipped around. I'm on chapter 6 right now that kind of going back to some things that were the whole music thing, kind of what we were talking about earlier. It's pretty interesting to me because I am a music person and I need music, and I can totally understand how, going and reading all these articles and stuff, like the one I was just telling you, that makes perfect sense to me. It's obviously
I love music, but I don't listen to it much. Even though I'm a studio trumpet player, I was trained in the classics. I was in the Navy band. I was offered a 4-year scholarship to Juilliard Conservatory of Music in 1962, and but I couldn't bring my grades up to a B average, so I didn't go. I went to the Navy band instead. Went to San Diego, auditioned. They said, "Congratulations, sailor, you're going to Washington, D.C." And so I went to Washington, D.C. to the Navy School of Music. But I'm really fussy because I am so educated in music. Not all music is worth listening to.
Right.
A lot of it's crap. And, and the words, the lyrics. It's just a wise man once told me it's just as wrong to sing a lie as it is to tell a lie.
Right.
And a lot of the stuff we're singing in our music I would never speak it in public,
Right.
especially in the presence of a dignitary. But it does have its effects on horses and animals and water and people.
Yeah, that's what I need to look at next is when you tell me the effects of it on water.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with it. Other than that, we've kind of went through the other few chapters. I skipped over anatomy just because it didn't sound exciting at the moment. And
No.
I was talking, I talk about it enough, and I just skipped over it for some reason. But I'll go back to it. But yeah, the music chapter is really interesting to me.
It's huge. Music has become the opium of the people, and they can't function without it because they don't know what to think about. And a lot of times they need a distraction. Well, I see that we're ticking down to about the last 30 seconds here. Mr. Producer has not given us the big get off your mic sign, but
Are we fired?
how much time do we have, Mr. Producer?
About a minute or so here.
About a minute or so. This man is lenient. I like this. People don't really know what good music is.
That's what you were touching on in the dairy cattle. It was if it was a hard beat, more of an annoying, how their milk production dropped, and then with the calmer, that kind of music. So there has to be some.
Well, today and what people listen to, there's a coffee shop I go to. They only had one speaker working, so they had one track in the music playing. And they're just listening to noise, and it's repetitive. It was a secondary track. Oh yeah, it was driving me nuts. I just said, "That's it. I gotta get out of here
before I break a window."
Yeah. And so, but they don't know. They just have to have some kind of a junk going on, something. Anyway, my program will clear a lot of the junk as far as just giving you proper education, and what you will be learning, how to touch a horse, rub a horse the right way. It will not only make the horse's life so much better in performance and attitude, but it's going to make you feel like you own the world. Again, this is Slow Talk Radio. I'm Geary Whiting and Brandy Armanta, my co-host. Thanks for joining in, and I hope you get something out of this. And don't forget, that's it. Equine massage in-home course for horse and human. Okay, send it away, Mr. Producer.
Yep. It is new, all right.